We are going to be talking about data entry on Herd Companion. So it's kind of bridging the gap between a full-blown software on farm and using the paper reports. There's this really nice alternative right in the middle, using Herd Companion to great effect to send us your NMR data. So you are all muted currently, and if you have a question at any time, please do pop it into the chat. I'm just going to share my screen. So we come into data entry on the main menu of Herd Companion into daily event entry. Now the beauty of this is you can put information in whenever you like, so you're not restricted to the milk recording window. You can put in something that happened a few months ago if it's relevant for that cow and makes sense for that cow. You know, if you've forgotten a service or you meant to sell off that cow a couple of months ago, something like that, it will let you put data in real time, you know, from whenever. Anything previous lactation you probably will struggle with, but something that happened to her this lactation, you're not restricted to today, this week, this recording window. So that's the first thing. Anything that you also put in does need to be confirmed, and there's a setting we can adjust to switch that off, but generally speaking, everybody is set the same way. And I'll go through the process anyway, so you'll see how it works. And once you've confirmed the events, they will be updated into Herd Companion immediately. And it really is that quick. So as soon as you've confirmed that service, that calving, whatever it is, then everything on Herd Companion of relevance will be updated. If your third party, your vet or nutritionist were to request your herd for whatever they're looking at, or to go into their Herd Companion, they will also see that data. So it's all about data flowing that much quicker in real time. So for example, we've got cow number 3 here. Today's date, and as I say, you can go back in time, so don't feel you've got to be in here every day. Equally, don't wait until you're just about to record and think, oh, so-and-so's coming to recording tomorrow, I better get all my stuff in Herd Companion. Please do work on it as and when it happens, because when your recorder comes, they know they're coming to see so-and-so farm on Tuesday. They will request the herd as late as possible, so possibly Monday, for a Tuesday recording. But it does lock the process of this real-time data. So if you leave it all to the last minute, we won't be able to process that information on here. So give yourself, you know, enough time to enter things in. If you do like to do it just the once per recording, that's fine, but give yourself a few days to get everything in there and done and dusted. So if I put in, let's say, yesterday's date, absolutely fine. And then I choose my event on here. It's all in logical order. So calvings, heats, services, PD plus, PD minus, dry. No surprises there. We've got mastitis cases on here. We've got different lamenesses, sickness, barren, end preg. So that's like an abortion, really. A dead animal or a sold animal. And that encompasses cull as well. So just to pick that one to start with, if I go to sold, I then have different options depending on what event it is. So reason for culling. Really good one. All important information that we're trying to collate nowadays as to why animals are leaving. You have got options if you're selling it to another herd, or equally things like, you know, production issues, fertility. We can add our culling reasons in there. Then I add event, and it refreshes, and you'll see we've now got this events to confirm. So I did 2 earlier. I've now got 3 on my list. You don't need to confirm after each event. Just keep going, you know, catch up with all your diary entries, whatever it is you need to do. Find another cow down here. It does leave certain bits left in the date box, for example, on the sold. So if you want to sort of have a clean slate each time and just start with a fresh cow on a fresh date, probably best, you can just clear page, and that will then you know, sort of delete these entries as blank, ready to start again. So let's use something today. For example, a service. You'll see on here we have choose the bull. Now these are the sires that you've used previously, so it's all relevant to your herd, and there are 20 animals in here, you know, where applicable, 20 bulls that you've used most recently. You can select one that you've got visible there, or you can search the whole of the NMR database for a sire that we would have on our system, and there are a lot in there, so you should be able to find who you're looking for. If it's a sire that you have, like a bull on farm, it may well be listed in here if it's been used previously. If you can't find it, it might be we haven't registered that bull with our bull file, which your milk recorder can do, or we can process that in the office. So just give us a ring if it's a bull on farm. We might need his ear tag in order to register him, but then he'll be available for you to use. So I choose my sire. And then again, add event. So service, really simple to do. I suppose the most complicated one might be a calving. And let's have a look at that. I can just change all my options here. So calving, I haven't got a dry event, so it does give you some warnings if you're trying to do something that may not be logical, but we can carry on for now. So we've got calving ease in there. And then we can put in all the details for the calf, or calves if there were more than one. So status of the calf, breed on farm, you've got the usual questions here then, female calf, what breed it was, what type of animal, dairy or beef, and then your, I'm not going to enter this one, but your ear tag prefix and the line number of that calf. So the ear tag prefix, that's your 12 digits. This one is your country code, so UK is at the top. So this would be, actually I might do this just for interest. There we go. So that's my herd prefix, which will come up as you can see. Then my line number, hold on. 12 digits, sorry, I'm not even following the instructions, am I? 100 001, there we go, that's my full ear tag. This is what my line number is going to be. So for calves born into the herd, this is 4 or 5 digits we can go to, or anything less than 5 on here. So this won't be the last 6 digits. That's all encompassed in the ear tag there. You can pop in a name if you want to, and then again, add event. Oh, and I need a breed. So it does stop you in your tracks, which is really useful when you're not used to doing such things. There we go. Let's try that again. And the usage as well. Come on, Kath, get with the program. Right, there we are. Okay, so we've got our calving. So there's a few bits and pieces we've done in here, building it up nice, you know, capturing all of our events. Now, I can leave this here. So if I've done a bit of work on it today and I haven't quite finished, you know, there's going to be more things happening tomorrow, of course, you can just leave it in situ. All of those events that I've done will sit in the event confirmation screen. So if you want to go and have your tea, something's happened, I've got to milk some cows now, that's absolutely fine. You come back tomorrow, log in, and you can just pick up where you left off. Absolutely fine. But I can't overemphasize this enough. We do need to confirm those events. Now, if you'd rather not, after a time, you may be used to this and you think, well, do you know what? I'm going to, I'm quite confident, well, I know what I'm doing, unlike me. I will want to enter an event, and as soon as I enter it and I click add event, I want that to be in. Give us a call, we can set that up for you, and then you don't have to do this piece here. So as I say, you can enter bits every day and then confirm them at the end of the week type thing. So just remember to do that if that's what you still want to do. This does, however, give you a little recheck. So you can just double check, this is what I've sent through. So various different bits of information. So I have gone back in time, as I say. It just serves as a quick data check. Yeah, I'm happy with all of that. I want to confirm all of my events. If at this stage, actually, we think line number 39 was not served on the 2nd of Jan, I've made a mistake here, I can untick that box, and then it will only confirm those 4 events there. We'll sit there on that screen until I guess we can delete it here. So it does allow you to sort of stop at this point for anything that's wrong. If you proceed and put it in with everything else and it's logical for that cow, it will of course go into her records. So anything at that point we think, oh gosh, I've made a mistake, that shouldn't be there at all, talk to your recorder at your next recording, absolutely fine, we can take it out again, or we can change the date or the sire, that kind of thing. Or give NMR customer services a ring. They can of course help you with the processing team as well. So don't panic if something has gone in wrong. Okay, you can't change it, but we certainly can. So I confirm my events, accept. I'm going to send through 5 different items. Absolutely fine. And this might take a little minute because it's on a test server, as I say. Something has gone wrong. Okay, that's unusual because I think I'm on a test server there. But basically, I can then check what I've sent through in my events sent. Of course, I won't be able to see those. So that's a shame. That's always the risk of running something on a test site. But I did want to show you how it works in real life. So what you will see are all the events within this date range. So you can always go back in time and view, you know, what did I put in 2 weeks ago when I last did this? So if you want to see where you've got up to, absolutely fine. Okay, so hopefully you've got the general gist there. If you can't see your event having confirmed, there is a possibility that it's in the failures screen. Just have a look at this one. I don't think there'll be anything in here. And there's no event failures here. So it does do a second stage of data validation, having allowed you in the first screen, you know, over and above missing breeds and that kind of thing. So there's data checks basically all the way through this process. If it has then failed, mine didn't even get that far, anything failed on here, it will show you and the reason why. So if you're trying to put in a calving that's already there, that kind of scenario, it will tell you, or a calving that's too soon after the previous one. Okay, so that's the data entry on that side. Up to here, as I say, event entry, you know, you can go straight into the confirmation if you know that's all you've got to do. Absolutely fine. The other part of this webinar, which is also to do with data entry really, is the mobility scoring, and that's down here. And while that loads, oh, that's gone quite quick today, that's good. I just wanted to say also that enrolling animals isn't possible on Herd Companion other than a calf that's born through a calving. We can do that absolutely fine. Any new animals that you've purchased will need to be added by your milk recorder. Okay. So the mobility monitor is where we can put in mobility scoring. And this is a really nice example. We're using Hartpury University today. They allow us to use their data for demo purposes, which is excellent because they are a real life herd. So it's all good information viewable for you. You can see what I've done previously, what the herd have done actually, all the mobility scores that we've done on previous occasions. You can see they're quite regular with this, which is lovely. So we can see how many cows that we've assessed and our overall score totals, 0 to 3 there, and if there are any cows absent. If we wanted to add a new recording, we add new. That button might show as edit if you are actually halfway through doing one. So that's fine. We've got a date as of today. So again, you can change that in the calendar. You can write in your initials as to who has done this score. And then there are a couple of ways of doing this. You can either look up a cow, because when you're scoring cows, they don't come out of the parlour in line number order. We appreciate that. So it might be that you've just got, you know, cow 25, or actually let's find one we've got, cow 39, enter, and I can just press the enter key, which gives my default of 0. So you can see that one there. So that's one option. Find your cow line number, enter, and then choose the drop down option. Or you can go to your list here and choose a particular score. So 4 is our default, not actually scored. 0 is obviously, you know, good mobility there. The other way of doing it is to go to one of the scores here. So if I go to 1, for example, and I try 59, you'll see that will change to a 1. So you can rattle through. We haven't got perfect batch data entry here, but you can rattle through, you know, most of the cows with the score 0s or the score 1s on there. A good tip here, save as you go. So click that quick save, you know, after 10 cows or so, just make sure it's all saved as you go, just in case something happens, internet drops out, something like that. And there are also, actually I'll just cancel this for now, there are also templates on here where you can print out a list in order for doing the scores in the first place. Excuse me. So if I go to templates, just a second, I can download a recording template with or without line numbers. So with line numbers is a sheet with all the cows written on. Without line numbers, you've just got your boxes to say, there's the zeros box, and then you can write the cows in the zeros box or the ones box or the twos as they come past you. So, you know, either way is quite simple. Probably without is actually the quickest way of doing it, where you're stood there writing scores down. So and there's also a user guide here. Do have a look at that one before you start if you want to. The purpose of, you know, why put it onto Herd Companion? Well, it's a place to store your data, absolutely. Those mobility scores will then be passed to your third parties again, so they can access that information along with all of your milk recording info. It's stored securely here, and you have some really nice graphs to view to see how well you're doing. So that brings us on to the change chart. So as with anything on Herd Companion, you've got your associated bits here. Home is where we started off. If I go to change chart, once you've got more than one score in, you'll be able to see what changes have been made. Okay, so we've got a nice pie chart here, and these are our categories. So animals that have got worse, improved, new ones popped up, no improvement, resolved, or stayed sound. And there's a breakdown in the user guide as to what's the difference between a resolved or improved. So you'll be able to see those. It's, you know, basically moving from certain scores to other certain scores. Where we've got an overlap here, I can actually click on the grid and just take out the bits that I don't want to see. So if I get rid of stayed sound for a second, pop that one back in, then we can see in our breakdown. So improve, we've got nothing, so I may as well move that out of the way. There we go. And you can just then view if there are any particular animals of interest. So here, not a lot happening really. We've got 6 cows resolved, and we have 3 new cases. So this is interesting. Now, if you scroll down, that will give you the numbers in total anyway. Scroll down a bit more, and we have a table of results. No changes selected, so it actually tells you what to do. Click on the section in the pie chart you're interested in to see the animals affected. So I'm interested in who these new cases are. Click on the pie chart. And of course, look at all the results in the home screen anyway for each cow. But it's all about trends. So those are my 3 cows that are of interest because they've had a new case. So they were previous testing or previous recording rather, they were on 0 or 1. They've all got worse in one degree or another, so they're classed as a new case. And then you've got some other bits of info on there like days of milk and how old they are and so on. So you can view those different segments and just, you know, hone in on the ones of interest there. So that's the changes since the last recording. So recording being mobility recording, not necessarily milk recording. Depends when you do it. Trends chart, the next one. Gives us a really good insight into what's been happening with all our recordings over the last couple of years, if you've got that many going through. So really interesting to see how we've improved in the herd as a whole. So proportion that are severely impaired, so those are your 3s, impaired 2s. So there's a tiny bit of red, you know, right at the start here, but actually very, very little happening right now. Just maybe 1 cow literally there. You can hover the mouse over. Actually, it's 2 cows there, impaired and good. I've got my Teams thing in the way there. And a couple of absent cows there as well. So that's your overall trend. So how much red and yellow have we got going on? And then a little bit of feedback on, okay, out of the total cows milking, how many have I actually managed to assess? So pretty much everybody. Most of them are good. We've just got a couple of issues we might need to keep an eye on. So really good insight into that one. Lactation lameness chart. So how are our scores by lactation number? So have we got issues with heifers or have we got issues with older cows? So, and you can see, yeah, there's a maybe 1% cows lame in lactation 1 out of the 55, just the one cow. Couple lactation 4 and a few more older cows there. So this is where my main problems are lying. An unknown being, lactation 0s. So it just gives you a sort of different angle on that one, and then we're back to our templates as well. Okay, so back on the home page, new mobility recording, save as you go, start off with a template of, different boxes, put all your cows that are 0 into the 0 box. Is probably the easiest way to do it, and then you can key it all into here. As with all of these things though, if you have any questions on how to do it, please give us a ring. I would love you to have some questions right now. So I'm just going to go back to my chat here. And we've got a question coming in. Absolutely lovely. Thank you. Or a comment if you want to make a comment. I'm sorry we had a bit of a hiccup at the start, but hopefully the sound has been all right going through. Just let that come in. I'll tell you about my next webinar coming up in November. Is all about nutrition, actually. So it's about protein analysis and milk-yield relationships, and also fat and protein ratios. So I hope you can join me for that. I will, of course, send you out all the invites. Okay, so question. Can mobility scores be added on Herd Companion with a phone? Well, absolutely, why not? Yes. At the moment, their website is, of course, accessible on a phone. It may not be as slick as you'd like it in terms, to try it on a tablet, that might be even better because it's a website. Certain phones, like all phones, I think you can configure for mobile settings rather than desktop. So yes, you can enter those scores. That's the short answer. You just might need to configure your phone first so that it fits properly and appropriately within that phone limitation, if you see what I'm saying. But everything that you've seen on Herd Companion on the website we've just been looking at, in theory, yes, you can do on your phone. So while you're out and about, you could maybe put your scores in directly. Probably not advisable, just depending on how quickly the cows are walking past you. But yes, you can do. Thank you, Fiona. Anything else on the data entry? Do you want me to run through a particular item again? I only did a couple of those, actually. Well, thank you all very much for attending. I will send you out the recording anyway, and I know there's always people that can't make it. So as with all these things, if you think, oh, I'd quite like to listen to the next webinar, but I know I'm not going to be able to attend, do register anyway, because then I've got a list of people I can just quickly copy and paste, and anybody that's registered an interest will be sent the recording. And then I can set you up for future ones as well, and also those recordings end up on our YouTube channel, which is NMR-National Milk Records. So if you search YouTube for that, you can subscribe to the YouTube, and it will alert you to any new subscription, any new videos that come through. So mainly on the Herd Companion there. So they're all there. You can go back in time and view any of the recordings all over again. So thank you all very much for attending, and I will speak to you very soon. Bye-bye for now.